Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bio, the recap. In these short recap episodes, I'm reflecting on Monday's main show and coming up with an action that you can take yourself today. This week was a little bit different. I was back to having a guest, which was awesome. I was getting a bit sick of talking to myself on all my solo episodes. So got a good few weeks of guests coming up. And this week it was none other than Tatiana Ashborn, who is a 22-year-old podcaster who has grown her podcast, Dirty Talk, to over 100 million views. Tatiana spoke to me about the origins of her podcast, which came about during COVID times when she was at the Brit School and had to come up with an idea for a play. It became sex conversations with her family. You've got to listen to the main show if you missed it, because it's such an interesting story. And then that evolved into a podcast of her basically asking all the questions about sex that she wanted to know. And clearly there is an audience for that, because she's got loads of people who are viewing or listening to her content. Alongside the channel, she also is big on TikTok with over 350,000 followers, and also Instagram and Facebook she's using as well. I really loved how genuine Tatiana was and how keen she is to learn and to improve her podcast, improve her content. She was very open around the numbers that she's seeing and also the figures that she is making. So I thought that with those kind of downloads, she'd be raking it in on the sponsorship, but also on the viewing with the likes of YouTube, because I know a few YouTubers who are making big bucks behind the scenes. I've seen their dashboard and I've seen how much money they're making every month, and it is literally thousands. But Tatiana said she was on course to make like £4 this month, and I could not believe that with those numbers. That really shocked me. And she was on 69 pence for TikTok, unbelievably low. And yeah, I couldn't quite get my head around that. But then was talking about how she could make more money with sponsorship, so recording videos for brands, doing adverts. And although she didn't give us a precise amount that she was making from those, it felt like it was around the £2,000 mark for each of those. So that's clearly where there's the money to be made for her type of content. I really like that Tatiana has a clear vision for where she's taking her brand. So she spoke about the fact that she's become qualified as a sex educator and how she's going to be able to work with schools to, I imagine, bring a really fresh perspective and a really relatable perspective to younger people at school. So I think that is going to be awesome. So what's my take action going to be this week? Well, you may be pleased to know that it's not sex related. Maybe you're disappointed. And instead, it's going to be picking up on one of the points that Tatiana said around just posting it, because she spoke about how, well, a couple of things she spoke about. She spoke about how she posts in the moment or posts in real time, as in no scheduling. And she gave an example of getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to post if she was in the States or whatever, to make sure that she's hitting the right time. But, and that is important, and I'm not a fan of using scheduling tools because I do think they harm your reach. But it was more around the fact that she said when she overthinks things, they're the posts that tend to not do so well. And instead, it was just posting something in the moment without a huge amount of thought or preparation, something that's not polished, but it's just an idea to have in the moment. And I think this is a great take action that we can all apply to whatever platform it is that we prefer. It doesn't have to be TikTok or Instagram. It could be LinkedIn. So my challenge today is to post something that you haven't planned, that you haven't thought about, just to put it out there and see what happens and see if you can get a bit of magic, a bit of momentum on that. So there we have it. What a topic, what an episode. As always, let me know how you get on with your take action, and I'll see you for the main show on Monday.